Okay, I will roughly explain this. I'm not a good DM. And I am not an experienced DM. It's been a long time since I've played Pathfinder, and this will literally be the second time I've ever played Starfinder.
Well, I have never played Pathfinder or Starfinder, so there you go.
So, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and to cover for my mistakes, I'm going to make up a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
do
here's
whatever
the thing,
you feel is best, dude.
That's part of like actual D&D rules. Just do whatever you want. Actually, it's like
They're more of guidelines than rules.
The other thing, there's a dog in the room.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and he wants attention.
I'll pet him.
And food.
So provide one of
prepare for dog noise, maybe. So I already explained everything more. Well, I already explained this to all of you guys more or less, but. None of the lore of Pathfinder or Starfinder means anything to this campaign. It exists, but I have set things in motion to make them not an issue. So if you want to try and bring in some lore, don't. I'm looking at you, Austin.
What? I read 2 pages 2 years ago.
That is 2 pages more than me. I do not care about Starfinder or Pathfinder lore at all, which is why I don't want to deal with it. But I don't want to completely destroy the entire system, so we are far away from that.
The only lore I know, probably off the top of my head, actually, is any lore made by Tom for any of his campaigns. That's all I remember.
So,
okay. Yeah.
Are, like, the languages from, like, normal Pathfinder prevalent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The races and the system that the actual game runs on will be untouched.
Okay. So
more or less beyond.
So the prevalent languages are still going to be fairly prevalent.
Yeah, for the most part. Okay. Like common is still common.
Well, I mean, yeah, that obviously, but I mean, I have like 3 different languages that I got to pick or something.
Yeah, all of those are perfectly fine. But on top of this, I am also going to be adding quite a few homebrew stuff to the game, especially considering that we are far away from the actual location of most of the
Packed Worlds.
Yeah, the Packed Worlds. Thank you. Also, Tom's going to be my lifeline here.
Yeah, I usually act as a lifeline to my other friend.
So, is everyone ready? Does everyone got all their stuff set up?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I have my stuff, but I need some drink real quick.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, you
Don't
cannot.
worry about it.
Make
noise. Make a bunch of noise. Hit things.
No. I'm not Austin.
Why is everybody picking on me?
I
have a tough day already.
That's why.
All right.
Folders, I mean.
Okay. See you guys next week.
I had to.
Oh yeah, another thing. I gotta keep track of time because of the way that we are gonna do episodes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So at some point, I'll say, "Hey, we're gonna take a break," and then we'll like take a bit of a break or whatever, and then we'll start like the second half.
Yeah. That's probably don't say we're going to take a break. Say that concludes episode 1.
Yeah, we'll do
Stuff
that.
like that. Or maybe just like cold close.
Yeah.
Fade out.
We can always
cut the audio
we
out.
can always fix it in post, you know.
Yeah.
Next time.
Sure. Yeah.
On Action Economy.
There you go.
That's good. I like
Okay,
it.
everyone, shut up. Okay, so we are playing Starfinder. I almost said Pathfinder. We are playing Starfinder. I am the DM, GM, storyteller. Travis. That my name. That what you call me. The setting / made up module that I'm playing of Pathfinder, Starfinder, thank you, has to do with the fact that I don't know Starfinder very well, and I'm a new DM, so bear with me. So the universe that we are going to be playing in is more or less the canon universe, but there is a limitation to the exploration of the universe based off of the materials and whether or not they literally last long enough to make it that far out into space. So the mapped area around Epsilon Station and all that whole galaxy, only went so far for a period of time until eventually there was an increase in materials for the universe, allowing mass expansion. Everyone who was anybody could go out there, pass the map, and find a planet and claim it for their own. There was a pseudo gold rush of wanting to get my name on that planet first. And people wanted to do more than just discover planets. They wanted to colonize planets, become whole new governments unto themselves in a Wild West area, untouched and unmapped by the rest of the universe. So the world expanded to the point where planets were being found too quickly for any one government body to actually categorize and map out and colonize them. People got lost. There is a huge mapped known area of space, and there is 10 times beyond that more of found and colonized space that is not recognized by any sort of modern navigational equipment. The story takes place so far away from any of the known locations in the book that all characters would not be able to live long enough to ever see anything close to what's talked about in any of the books. This is also what facilitates a lot of my homebrew content that I'm going to be adding into it. A lot of the stuff's going to be made up. There's no resource for it. It's all just from my brain. So with that being said, I'll have the players introduce themselves and then explain their character. The basic premise is that these people do not know who they are. They have all woken up on a ship in the middle of space with no knowledge of who they are or why they're there. So, Austin, if you want to go ahead and start.
Alright, I am playing as a female half-orc soldier. I chose the...
Volume. Speak louder.
Oh, I have chosen the mercenary theme. Mostly what I'm going to be doing as combat is being in the front lines, intimidating with explosives and heavy weapons, trying to take the aggro and give as much of it back as half-orcly possible. I'm not that smart, and I will use
Brute force.
brute force, less fancy methods to get things done, but I will get things done if it kills me.
Alright, Jesse.
I'm playing a Yosokai. I chose the mechanics as the main class, and with the was officer, right?
Law officer.
Law officer as my path. So that's the way I'm going for, and I'm more tech based. I work with computers, so that's what I'm aiming for.
Okay, Chris.
Okay. My name's Chris. I am playing a technomancer, and his theme is mercenary. He's a very he's an android. Did I say that? He's a very logical, just kind of calculated person.
Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm playing as a sound guy,
And help for the poor little DM.
I am playing as a female Kasatha Solarian, with a Xenoseeker theme. And my character is very, very. I don't want to say dumb, but very, very
Innocent? Naive?
I don't even know how I would say that. The type of person who would end up getting taken in by like a multi-level marketing scheme, or a would be pulled into buying
Gullible.
Just easily manipulated.
what are they called? Those the essential oils and stuff like that.
Gullible?
Yeah, gullible might work. Also very timid and not wanting to put herself in danger.
Okay. So that's all the characters. I guess the name of the campaign will be the SS Eternity, which is the name of the ship that all of these people will be discovering. I hope you enjoy the journey that I will take you on in this auditory adventure. We start with our view of a lone ship in the middle of empty space. The ship is damaged, but not to the point of a critical state where it would be considered non-functional or scrap. It's obviously not going anywhere. It's just floating through space. On the side of the ship reads SS Eternity. A very large civilian class ship, I suppose. A big yacht, or shopping mall, if you will. So, there are 4 of you. So let's see who we'll start with.
As we're rolling, I want to ask, we got Barnes & Noble on this shopping mall?
Hell yes.
I don't even know if I like that.
1. Austin. Okay, I have to bring up... just to make everything a little bit easier. So, all of you wake up to the same sound, which is this. Just a little bit. You don't hear it right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Austin, you wake up,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing you open your eyes to is the top of your bunk, or a bunk. And you think to yourself, okay, great night's sleep, I guess. You look to your left and you see a window that's right next to you, space. Then you think, why am I here? Where am I? You look at your hands, and you go, I think these are my hands. What was I doing? And you try really hard to remember. And you get nothing.
What am I wearing?
So, you're wearing pajama shorts and a shirt. The shirt doesn't really seem like it fits you.
Mm-hmm.
In the bunk that you're sitting or laying in, immediately in front of you as you have your head back, there's a bunch of pictures, like collage of stuff is around. One of the first things that you'll pick out is the fact that none of these pictures have anyone with green skin in them.
Oh.
So, what do you want to do?
I'd probably rub my head a bit. I know about my mercenary background and such, correct?
No, you don't.
Oh.
When you think about who you are or what you know, you can't, like, the farthest back you can bring yourself to is right when you woke up. You don't know who you are or what you can do, why you're here. You've woken up, you're in a place that's strange, you feel a little uncomfortable in your own, like, body, but it's starting to get a little bit more familiar.
Is there, like, a kind of heavy object or something I can use as, like, I can hit someone with it if I get mad?
If you look around the room, it seems like a regular kind of, like, apartment bunk. To give you a description of the room, square room, with on the eastern wall, we'll say, is a door, about in the center of the wall. And then mirrored on that side is another door on the western wall. The southern wall, from your point of view, what you're going to surmise to be the southern wall, is a couch. There's some sort of TV and a coffee table there. The bunk that you're sitting in is the wall. The bed that you're laying in or sitting up in is kind of pressed into the wall. There's a window to space right there. There's books and the like. This looks like a place that somebody has been living in for a decent amount of time. Everything looks pretty clean, pretty proper, but none of the stuff in the room seems familiar. Immediately, you don't really think of anything or see anything that would make like a good, like, heavy object to hit something with. I mean, you could probably pick up a book or I guess maybe a chair or something if you really wanted to.
Yeah, probably not. I'm probably just gonna rub the back of my head, look around a little bit in search of heavy object. Unable to find one, go, this is probably something for a medic or doctor person. And I'm just gonna go wandering out of the room, or attempt to.
Okay, so which door do you want to go to? The left one or right one, we'll say?
Well, adventures are always wrong, so I will go left.
Okay, so you go to the left door. There's a small button onto the right-hand side of the door, and when you push it, it opens up to a bathroom. Right across from you is just an empty wall, and then slightly to the left, there's a sink, toilet, and then a cabinet. And to your right, there's some sort of shower. Again, there's stuff here that looks like somebody's been kind of living in this area, in this space. The one thing that you have been noticing is there's a lot of, like, memorabilia of somebody else. You can surmise that this isn't your room that you're in. If you looked at the pictures, the people that are on there mostly seem to be human, and they seem to be taken on the surface of some planet. There's a young brown-haired girl and some sort of large lizard man with her. The life that they seem to live is seems pretty normal, nothing like crazy. There's no pictures of them with guns or anything like that. But
Not Cabela's customers.
Not Cabela's customers. A little higher class than that.
Okay.
They look like they probably have money. But yeah, there's nothing really of too much like, you're not finding a crowbar or any weapons.
So I go to the bathroom
Okay.
and get a little bit upset that I don't even know what the fuck is the way to go out of
Okay.
this place. And I'll just slam that closed and go to the other one.
Okay. So
Wait.
you go to the other door,
Mm-hmm.
and rather than a button this time, there is some sort of hand scanner.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to put your hand to it, you hear a big buzz and access denied. This isn't your room, and you're apparently not allowed to exit or you assume come in.
I'm gonna sigh and go, if you can hear me, call security or something, because I guess I'm trespassing. Just let me leave.
All right. Nothing happens.
I punch it.
Do you punch the door or the
scanner.
Okay. Make an attack.
What would a fist attack be?
That should be just your straight strength.
Am I proficient in fist?
Probably not. That would be on your character sheet.
Well,
If you have... Most people aren't proficient in hand-to-hand combat, especially because guns exist. So I'm going to say no. Go ahead and roll d20, add your strength modifier.
that's 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. You punch it,
Uh-huh.
and it hurts your hand. Not damage-wise, but, like, nothing happens.
I go to the fridge.
Okay, alright. In the corner of the room, there is, like, a type of fridge there. You pop it open, and there seems to be some sort of food in here, or what once was food, but you don't need to be a smart person to tell this is not edible. Whatever was in here is, like, congealed, and, like, weird colors, and it smells funky. It's probably been in this fridge for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Probably don't want to touch it.
At the moment, I'm thinking I probably banged somebody, maybe.
Okay.
I don't remember doing anything
Well,
like
that's pretty
that.
normal.
But it was probably... I probably banged somebody, and they probably did something like some weird magic man. So
Okay.
I'm going to start looking for alcohol or anything to make this situation better.
Okay. You find on one of the bookshelves above the bunk, there is like a bottle of, we'll say, like 1/3 of it still has some alcohol in it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with it?
Oh, I'll drink that.
Do you drink it? Do you drink all of it, or do you just?
I drink some because it's got to last me however long it takes me to figure out how to get out of this place.
Okay. So you take a drink of it. It's alcohol. It's pretty. It's relatively strong. It's
Yeah,
not. It
that's
seems like
booze.
something that probably should be mixed with other things. If you were to take a guess,
It doesn't matter to me.
yeah, it doesn't matter to you. If you drink enough of it, you could probably get a buzz going.
Is you drinking straight Disaronno or something?
Yeah, sure. As someone who doesn't drink alcohol, I'll say yes.
I don't either. Okay. I'm going to...
So just to give you an idea, there's still a cabinet in the bathroom, and there's like a whole there's like a little entertainment area where like TV and couch was that you haven't really looked at.
Yeah. Right now, what I think I'm going to do is... This is 90%... I want to get some sort of petty revenge on whoever locked me in here,
Mhm.
and 10% secret passage.
Okay.
I'm just gonna knock all the books off the bookcase.
Okay. All right. So you knock a bunch of the books off the bookcase.
Mhm.
So the books aren't like our kinds of books. They're not pages. They're essentially large iPads, more or
Yeah,
less.
it's like
So
the
it's like
Star
Star
Wars.
Trek when you have like a desk
Yeah, kinda
that's
like-
full of them.
Yeah, yeah.
You went Star Trek, I immediately went Star Wars.
Because
So
there's literally scenes where like you have like a dozen pads on your
yeah,
desk.
yeah. So you throw a bunch of these onto the ground and have now made a mess. Okay, something that you kind of notice about them is they're all off. They don't really like. When you grab them and stuff, maybe while you're doing it, you hit some of the buttons. Nothing happens. They're all like dead.
Oh man!
But now you've made a mess on the ground.
Good. Whoever the weird magic man comes to trick out of whatever that he tricked me out of, then they'll know something's up. And I'm gonna sit down on the couch, take another drink, and kind of like assess my surroundings, and actually at this point go, okay, how do I get out?
Okay. So you take a minute and you sit down and you start to drink, take a couple sips. So something that you, spending a little bit of time in the room, start to realize that like a lot of the electronics aren't really working, or at the very least are just off. The entertainment system doesn't do anything. What would be a place to call locally, nothing comes up from it. Do you continue to just like make a mess of stuff?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
If I can't figure out how to get out, I will make a mess of things in spite.
Okay. We'll say that you slowly work your way around the room. You continue to not really find anything all that useful. The cabinet in the bathroom does have cleaning products in it, as well as a couple towels. Nothing like obviously useful. So your options are to either try to do something to the control panel again, or wait.
Can I try to force the door open?
You can try, but there's not really a good way to grip it. And if it's anything like the bathroom door, it slides into the wall. So it'd be a little bit difficult to. You can try the control panel again. Okay, I'll say this. You've got a glass bottle now.
Yeah. I'll smash it.
You're gonna, on what?
On the control panel.
On the control panel. Okay. We'll do another attack roll here. So thinking about attacking better, you're gonna first roll to hit, which is just your d20. I don't think you have any proficiencies or modifiers to it.
I have simple weapons, but I did
okay,
roll an
we'll say
18.
it's a simple weapon.
It'll be your base attack bonus plus your strength.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, then that's 21.
Okay, you smash it. We'll do damage, and we'll say that it's a d4. So d4 plus strength.
I believe that is 4.
Awesome. So you swing down with all of your drunken rage. You're not really drunk, but with all of your rage, you swing down and you smash the bottle and smash the control panel and leave a bunch of bits of glass into the control panel. It's come off the wall a bit and is hanging there sparking now. And you sit there panting from just exerting a bunch of anger out onto this. And again, nothing's happening for a while. And then you hear a small doo. And again, nothing's happening for a while. And eventually you sit there and wait. Eventually the door opens.
Okay. I was going to start pulling the wires out of the wall.
The door opens. And what... Immediately, do you do anything as soon as the door opens, or do you want to see what's opening the door?
Well, the door opens, and what do I see when it opens?
Okay, when the door opens, the first thing that greets you is a small, like knee-high, little less than that, little robot man. Big feet, big hands. It's all made out of metal. It's all smooth and has like a white finish to it. And the head of this little robot man is a glass-like orb with some sort of dark purple liquid in it that has like some sort of metallic flecks in it. And there's like 3 of them that eventually come up, and they start to just kind of waddle into the room.
Okay, well, the second it opens the door and there's this little robot man, I'm gonna grab him by his stupid orb head.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick him up and I'm gonna threaten him with like the broken glass bottle shard.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
So
go, "Who are you? Why am I here?"
so you grab him
Uh-huh.
and pick him up. The
Yeah.
first thing that catches your eye is the fact that right to his hip there is a like flat cord that goes straight into the ground of the ship.
Mhm.
All three of them are attached like this to some sort of track that was into the hallway.
Mhm.
And a little bit more noticing, it also goes into the room, this track. It seems to go along the perimeter of the room. When you pick him up, there's a tension there, so you can't get him to eye level. You
Yeah.
can get him to like maybe like around your stomach, and you threaten him with the glass bottle. And he's obviously panicking. There's no expression on his face or anything like that, but his arms are flailing, and it just starts making an awful, horrible, like dial-up noise.
Oh god.
Okay.
It's extremely loud, and it sucks. This is the worst. You were better off in the quiet room drinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna smash this thing on the floor.
Okay, you throw him down on the ground.
More like I want to grab him and smash him on the floor, and if that doesn't shut him up, I will do it until it does.
Okay. So you smash him down onto the floor. Give me just a strength roll.
Okay.
I want to see how hard you do this.
Rolls a 1.
12.
Okay.
Above average.
Above average, but not high enough. You slam him onto the ground, and the glass orb, nothing happens to it. It doesn't break.
Mm-hmm.
It scuffs it a bit. Do you let him go, or do you keep on?
Oh, I keep on going.
Okay, all right. So after a couple attempts at this, eventually you smash this glass orb, and the body goes limp. The thing on its hip completely detaches and goes back into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The glass orb shatters, and this goop starts pouring out of its head.
Mm-hmm.
The other two that were with it are completely ignoring all of this,
Uh-huh.
and one has started picking up the books that are on the ground, and it's
Hey.
collecting all of them. This is while you were slamming
Damn
one
it.
into the ground. It had started picking up the books, and the other one has moved over and has climbed up a small ladder that's next to the control panel, and is trying to fix the control panel. The door is still open,
Mm-hmm.
and you now have this weird goop on your hands.
I'm gonna do the same to the other two, starting with the one that's trying to fix the door.
Okay. It's the same thing, you grab it and just start slamming
Yeah.
it onto the ground? Okay.
Well, I slam the one with the control panel into the control panel until he breaks on that, and then I smash the other one at the books, and I throw the books back down. And I think to myself, well, if anybody was going to do anything about this, they probably would come.
Okay.
Somebody
So-
will find me.
So, after spending like a good 15 minutes just breaking these three little robots
Uh-huh.
that have posed zero threat to you whatsoever, and as you can tell, physically can't do anything to you,
Yeah,
um,
they're robots.
your
Kinda
hands
racist.
luckily do not get cut by any of the glass from slamming these into the ground, but your hands down to like halfway across your forearm now have this like goop on it. It feels like kind of like shampoo. It's got that kind of texture to it.
Mm-hmm. Can I wash it off in the sink?
Yeah, you can go over and wash it off into the sink.
I'll do that.
All right, you take a couple minutes or take a couple seconds and wash it off. And now the door is open.
Dead robots.
There's dead robots on the ground.
Nobody's come to check on their dead robots.
Nope.
Something seems wrong.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna leave
All right. Well, you step out and
with my glass bottle dagger.
okay. You step out and you are now standing in a white hallway, stark white hallway. It's very clean. And if you look to your right, it goes down a little ways. every now and again, you'll eventually see like what seems like another door, very similar to the one that you just left, and it goes for a very, very, very long way until the ever so slight curve that it has slowly pushes the end of the hallway out of your view. And when you look to your left, it's the exact same thing.
Alright. I am going to go back into the room.
Okay.
How like, bodies of these robots are like this big?
They are, I want to say, like 1.5 feet tall.
Okay.
And then with their heads busted,
Mm-hmm.
like they're about 1 foot tall.
Okay. So, would you say... This is going to sound like a question. This is going to be a question.
Okay.
Would taking 2 of these things by the legs and banging them together make a very loud sound?
So the material that they're made out of isn't like, it doesn't feel like metal, like straight metal. It feels like some sort of carbon fibery, pseudo-plastic type thing.
Mm-hmm.
It'd probably make a relatively loud noise, but not like pots and pans loud.
Are there pots and pans?
No.
Alright, well, these will have to do. I grabbed 2 of the dead
The garbage
robots
will do.
by the legs. I'm just gonna walk down the hallway, banging them together, and, like, as loud as I can, go, "Everybody wake up! I do not know if I am disturbing you all, or if you are all prisoners here, but I do not have memory, and I need assistance!"
Which direction do you go?
I go to the right, because I already went left.
Okay. So as you do this, what little goop is left in their heads starts flying out across the halls as you slam these things together. It makes a loud noise. Honestly, your yelling is probably louder. You have strong orc lungs.
Yeah.
Half orc lungs. So you just keep going for a while. Do you try any of the doors, or do you just want to just walk until you hit something?
For now, I'm just walking, and I suppose until I get tired of it, like bored, I will just continue to do this, because either somebody will come out of the room going, "What the fuck are you doing? It's 1 a.m. Go to sleep." Or nobody will come out, and I'm going to start busting into people's rooms.
Okay. Well, first off, nobody comes out.
Okay.
As you walk, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Alright, at 10 minutes, my patience wears thin. I sigh, and I throw the corpses onto the wall, and the nearest door, I, tried and true method, I punch it.
You punch the door, or the little...
The little control panel.
Okay. These ones seem to be slightly tougher than the interior ones. The way that they're attached to the wall, there isn't an obvious seam there. It's like perfectly smooth to the wall.
Yeah.
Everything in this hallway seems perfectly smooth. If you didn't realize that there was a slight indent where the doors were, you would be mistaken for thinking that it was completely empty.
So,
you don't even need to roll for this.
Uh-huh.
You slam into it, and it just hurts your hand a ton. Again, not enough to take, like, damage. I'm not going to make you do that, but...
It's like punching a tree.
Yeah, like, you have gained nothing from this. But you hit the screen, and you hear a pop-up, access denied.
So you know probably what I want to ask, but I don't think the answer will be yes.
The robots cannot be used to make grenades.
Yeah, that's what I... yeah.
Do you want to pick through them and, like, figure out, like, do you want to take them apart at all? It'll take some time. You don't have any tools on you or anything.
Yeah. I'm probably just going to,
by the way, you have just been walking down the hallway.
Yeah. It goes, like, this way and then, like, this, right?
So, when you looked down the hallway initially, it looked like it was going completely straight. But it goes for so long, and there's such a gentle curve to your left. You're looking right. it's such a gentle curve to your left that eventually it gets to the point where you cannot see the end of the hallway. But this is an absurdly long hallway that you're going down.
I have an idea. Those little cables that went into the floor, do they come from the floor into the robot or the robot into the floor?
Well, considering that when you killed them, that the cable popped off and retracted back into the floor, you assume that it comes from the floor into the robot. If you look, there is that little thin line for where the track is on both sides of the floor of the hallway. So, more will probably come if you wait, if they haven't already started on the hallway a ways behind you.
I'll try one thing and then I'll go back if it doesn't work.
Okay, you're gonna go back.
I'm gonna try to hold the dead body of the robot up to the scanner.
The scanner?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing happens.
I throw it and I go back.
I gotta say, Austin, I'm loving your character so far.
Okay, so you walk back the way you came?
Yeah.
Okay. About 10 more minutes of walking, and you spot a robot, another one of these things, and he's got a little thing, like a little plastic thing that he's cleaning up the goop with. It looks like it'd probably be about this long, give or take.
I walk up to it and I go, "You."
It stops and looks towards you.
And I look down and I go, "Open the door."
It looks towards the door, and it starts to gesture like it's talking to you, but then it continues to just make this it's not yelling it, so it's not super loud. It's not as loud as it was before, but it's this
a quiet dialogue.
Yeah, it's a quieter dial-up. Something's wrong. This thing's acting like it's talking to you normally. And it's gesturing at the door, and it looks like it can't really help you.
I do not understand you. You will open the door though, or I will smash you.
It drops the little cleaning utensil that it had, and shakes its hand no, don't.
I grab it by the head and I pull it up, and
okay,
I go down to be eye level with it.
Okay,
and I go, "You will call your friends or somebody that knows how."
It holds up one. It's got 3 fingers. It holds up one of its fingers, and there's a little button on its chest, very small, not something that you would really be able to get at. It's like one of the reset buttons. And it opens up its right hand finger, pushes the button, and closes it, and then just sits there and waits.
I drop it and I stand back up, and I want you to know that if this thing tries to run, I will grab it.
He's not running. He's standing there staring at you. From what you can assume, there's no eyes, but it's kind of just
I just cross my arms and stare at it, glaring.
It stares back.
How long we here till?
Okay, so 15, 20 minutes go by, and then another one of these little things comes by. It's on the opposite track. And it looks different. Rather than just being all white, it has certain black stripes across its chest. Not a pattern or anything like that, but 2 almost like suspenders. Black stripes. It walks up and looks directly at you, and it does a salute, and then it holds its hand and goes like this.
I wanted the door open, but it seems like this might get me more answers. You look different, and I'll follow it.
Okay, so it starts to keep up pace with your walking. It kind of sprints, and it leads you down the left side of the hallway.
Kill myself.
So it leads you down to the left side of the hallway until eventually there's a door that is slightly different. It's a bit bigger and wider than the other ones. And when it gets to the door, it doesn't even touch the panel. The door just opens up for it. And in there, you come into some sort of junction. And we'll stop there for a moment and go to... I rolled a 2. Jesse.
So my turn. Okay, cool.
Okay. So, you wake up to the music that's playing on the radio.
Okay.
It's very staticky.
Yeah.
And when you wake up, you are met with a wall and a clock, like a AR almost clock, telling you the time. And the wall is like right in your face.
Huh. Okay.
You go through a roughly similar process of you're like, oh, wait, what time is it? And you look at the time, and you look at the time instinctively, but then you go, why am I looking at the time? Was there something I was supposed to do? And you look to your right, and there's another wall right there. Okay, and then you look to your left, and there's another one right there, and you're laying on your back. You're essentially in, like, a tiny coffin.
Oh, cool.
When you look to your left, there's a little black screen right there, and it's not on.
Oh, okay.
You look up, there's a ceiling bit to whatever you're in, and then down by your feet, it's also closed off. You are like, okay, where am I? What am I doing here? And then the thought dawns on you of like, why am I here? What was I doing? Who am I? And you start to panic a little bit. Because you should know who you are.
Yes.
You look down at yourself and you're a little Yosokai body and everything like that. You're wearing the equivalent of like boxers and a tank top.
Okay.
You're in sleeping gear, more or less.
Sorry, I had a picture of like Master Splinter and like.
Okay, yeah. So one of the things that you immediately notice is on your left forearm, there's a portion of your fur that has been completely shaven off. Shaven? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been shaved off, and on your skin is tattooed 3 letters A-C-E.
Oh wow, you're asexual.
I was about to say just one M, and you could go kill the Roadrunner.
So, what do you do?
So there's light in this cubicle I'm in, right?
Yeah, it's like a soft, dull, like warm light, like a yellowish light.
Okay.
In here. Everything's got like, it would be white, but like a little bit more cream
Okay.
color than that.
I'm gonna try feeling around and see if there's a button I can hit.
Okay, you start to feel around like the walls and everything in front of you and stuff like that, and it's all soft, like there's give to things.
Okay.
Not like a ton of give, but it's all cushioned.
Okay.
So you're in a padded cell.
Kind of. You're in like a coffin padded cell.
Oh, fun.
And over by the monitor, there is a series of small buttons. And you go down the list. So you hit top one, bottom one, middle one. You go down the list. None of them really seem to do anything. And that's everything by your head. And you've got a little bit of room so you can move around. You're also kind of a small person.
Yeah.
So you're not exactly like super encumbered by being in this.
Still.
You move down to where your feet would be.
Yeah.
And you're pushing around. There's not really anything. But when you push on where the foot thing is, there's a little bit more give, and it seems like the thing shifts forward and then hits like some sort of lock or something.
Okay. Something else with clothes. Can I? Sorry, I'm trying to think of what I can do. Can I? Okay. can I try pushing the floor, see if I can get a little more give out of it, or
So
is it more like it's just
so when you push the floor panel forward, it starts to move forward, but it seems like there's something on the other side or in it that might be blocking it. But you can there's a gap now that's there.
Okay.
Not that you can like all the way see through, but there's something in there that you could potentially like you gotta stick your fingers in there, or if you can somehow get something, you might be able to get that in there as well.
Okay, I'm gonna try to reach my hand and see if I can reach in and...
Okay, you've got small Isokai hands, so you can actually kind of get it in there. So, are you just gonna feel around the entire...
I'm just gonna feel around it and see if there's like something that's keeping it lodged.
Oh god, there's a tarantula.
You feel someone else's hands caressing yours. No,
Karos whispers hello.
on the right-hand side of it, you feel that there's some sort of latch or mechanism. Seems like this is some sort of door or entrance point that's locked. So if you wanted to, you could really kind of try and open it yourself with your hands.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to open it.
Okay. Give me. Let me. I want to say a strength check, but let me check to see if there would be anything better. Yeah, give me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
That's 20.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay. You dexterously slide your fingers into it and unlock it. It finally pushes all the way forward and then rotates off of a corner upward.
Okay. And then I can climb out.
So you can climb out. When you climb out, the first thing that hits you, doesn't actually hit you, nothing hits you. First thing you notice is that you are inside some sort of tube, I guess, of a bunch of doors like this. There's a ladder to your right, and then on the other side of the ladder is another set of doors, goes up a ways and down a ways, and then on the other side of that door, ladder, and just continues like that all the way around until it reaches the other side of you. So there's a ton of these little pod areas.
Okay.
They're all numbered. There's a letter, number.
Can I look at the one that I was in, and can I look at what was on my arm, and then see if they match up with the...
They're not the same thing. There's Ace on your arm.
Okay.
And the door has E4A2.
Okay.
Alright. They go in an obvious pattern. It's most likely some sort of category system.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a floor down at the bottom, and there is a top to this, but it seems like it's almost like you're inside a weird mix between a grain silo and a morgue.
I was thinking like the Tokyo, like in Japan, where they have the special apartments, like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The little like coffin apartment things. Yes, kind of like that. Yeah. Everything also has this like kind of whitish worm color to it.
All right, I'll take the ladder and go down.
Okay. What a thrill! You work your way down. When you get to the bottom, there's I'd say about like 3 times your height worth of no coffin beds. There doesn't really seem to be a whole lot in this area, but there's a large door in front of you. When you go to the door, there's a control panel there next to it.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that you try to open the door.
Yes, I...
Okay. When you open the door, a little green light pops up and it goes, "Doot, access granted." And the door opens up. And you walk through.
Okay.
When you walk through, you're in a short, straight hallway. It's all white. across from you is a similar door to what you just were in. To your right, there's another one on both sides of the hallway. And to your left, there's another one on both sides of the hallway. And then there are 2 more doors at the end of the hallway. It's a very short hallway.
Okay, so there's like a lot of doors and...
Yeah. You could probably safely assume that the 6 doors that are on the walls here are probably the same thing.
Okay. So there's another door I just came out like silos.
Yeah.
Okay.
These little silo things. And then there's a door all the way at the end of the hallway to your right, and one to your left.
I'm gonna go to the end of the hallway.
Which one? Which side?
We're gonna go left.
Left? Okay. You go left. You go to the door. It's another panel. Hit the button. Panel. The door opens up. You got access to this area. You're supposed to be here, apparently.
Okay.
There's still no, like, signs of people. Nobody else woke up. Nobody else has been moving. The whole area is clean. You don't hear anything. You don't hear any voices or anything like that. And when you open the door, there seems to be like another circular mess area. Like a dining table is in the center. There's cooking equipment on the outside of the room. And it's in kind of like a triangular... The doors are set up in kind of like a triangular position. So you're on one. You've got a door kind of to your right, kind of to your left. And everything seems put away. Everything is super, like, clean. Doesn't look like anything happened. And it's just quiet. You hear faintly some music, but it's obviously not being pumped into this area that you're in. You can just hear it from somewhere else.
Okay, can I go ahead and take a look out in the... Because we're in the mess hall, can I take a quick look around, and can I also sniff out things while I'm in here?
Okay. That's right, because you can do that.
Yes. 30 feet, if that helps.
Okay. The room's not that large. You could probably find anything in here. You do smell food of some sort.
Okay.
It doesn't smell right. You find that whatever food is in this whole area is very similar to the last time, is just disgusting and gross and old and has been here for a very long time. There's stuff growing on it. It's changed its shape and color and form. Stuff's been here for a long time.
That's not edible.
And as far as the, like, utensils and stuff are concerned, there's one area that has a bunch of, like, a plasticky kind of set of eating utensils. Mm. There's a very dulled knife and spork. And there's a ton of them. You could take those if you wanted to.
I'll take all the dulled knives.
How many are you going to take?
Like 10.
10? Okay. So you've got 10 of these plastic knives with you.
More than I had.
True. But you have a glass bottle. You have an actual weapon.
I'm an actual weapon.
So there doesn't really seem to be very much else here of note or of interest.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go to one of the other corners. I'm gonna go to... Because I came in through one corner.
Yeah. You're on one side.
To the right one.
The right one? Okay. So you go to the right door. To kind of expedite this a little bit, you end up going through multiple hallways of seemingly, like, very little. There's screens that they're all black that are on the walls in different areas. There, at some point, you run into a board that has just a massive list of names on it, and next to all of the names is just NA. There's not a single one of them that does not have NA next to the name.
Okay. I take note of this
Okay.
because that's actually really interesting.
Do you want to look for anything in particular on here, or
I am gonna look. I'm gonna look it over a little bit closer and see like.
what are you looking for?
Just an idea of what's going on because I don't know.
It's a board of names.
Okay, so
You don't know any of these names.
There's no Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah, they're you don't know any of these names.
So like I'm
None of them are ringing any bells. You still don't know who you are. You still don't know where you are. You still don't know what you're
For
even
all
doing.
you know, your name could have been on there.
It could have been. But for all you know, the only there's no numbers associated with them or anything like that. It's just first name, last name. Okay, here is something patterns are pretty easy to recognize. I'm gonna ask you to make a investigation.
Okay.
Just this is pretty low DC. I just want to see if your character would even bother to notice it.
Investigation isn't a skill.
Sorry, wrong one. This is why I need this. Where is it? Perception. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
14.
Okay, yeah, easy enough. A lot, like a decent amount of the names, not all of them, but a decent amount of the names have the last name as Eternity.
That's interesting.
Like it's something that you notice that a decent amount of these names have Eternity.
Okay.
Um,
All right. I take note of that, and then I continue walking down the hallways.
okay. You end up passing through some sort of large scanning device, like almost immediately after this big screen of names. You go through some sort of device that scans you for a second.
Okay.
Can you do anything or let it scan you?
I'm gonna let it scan me and see what
Okay.
happens.
It scans you. All right, nothing really happens.
Mhm.
It's obviously like there's some stuff sprayed in the air, most likely just to clean you. And when you exit out through the other side, you are in an area much similar to the one that Austin was in. Of like, you're in a hallway. It's not super long like the other one was, or like Austin's was.
Yeah.
But it seems like it curves on your left-hand side, and then if you go to your right-hand side, it's a bit more straight and will actually lead to a visible door that you can see. That the door is wide. Like the whole area, the whole hallway is wide enough that you could roughly, for your sake, not for your character's sake, you could roughly fit like a car in there.
Okay, gotcha, okay.
But when it actually reaches the actual door, the hallway widens out a bit.
Okay. I'm gonna go down to where I can see the door.
Okay. When you go down to the door, you can open it up with the control panel. And it opens up into a large auditorium type room.
Okay.
There's desks and computers and such. Everything's off. And this auditorium, there's something about it that just makes it feel like cold. Like you don't. Clinical is more so the word that I would like to look for.
Yeah, gotcha.
This doesn't really seem like a comfortable place to hang out, but it's obviously work gets done here of some sort.
Okay. And you said all the computers are off?
Yeah, the computers are off. There's another door to your right now. There's a similar door that you just entered across the way from you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a smaller door on the left-hand side that it seems like a one-person door, not like the bigger high-traffic doors.
Can I go check out one of the computers next, and see if I can mess with it at all, or is it like the
Yeah. When you go over to the computer, you hit the buttons, nothing turns on. You touch things, you get your greasy hands all over it, nothing happens.
No, I got sprayed down by the scanner.
Yeah, your slightly less greasy hands.
There you go.
And nothing. The computers are completely unresponsive. They don't look busted. They just aren't responding to anything.
Okay. I'm gonna check out that small door.
Small door? Okay. You go to the small door. Access denied.
Okay.
So you've got 2 more doors to check out.
I'm gonna check out the door that was across from the one I came in then.
Okay.
So be straight ahead.
When you go to that one, you hit your hand on that one. Access denied.
Alright. So last door, the one to my right.
Okay. You go to that one and open the door, and it opens up to a junction. And that's where we're in that one. And I mean, there's only 2 of you left, and since we've been going in this pattern.
Okay.
Alright. So
It would be funny if you rolled it. It was
that would be funny. You turn on to the sound of some file being played. The first thing that you can visually see is some person in front of you. On they're strapped to some sort of makeshift table. It seems like somebody took 2 of the I don't know what they're called, but the carts that people serve stuff on for like weddings and the like.
A dolly?
Yeah, like dolly, those kinds of carts. 2 of those put together.
I don't know what kind of kinky stuff's going on here, but
We'll find out. And there's a body laying on it.
ooh.
And there's a bunch of stuff hooked up to them. The room that you're in is dark. And you immediately start checking your files. You start looking through all of your memory and everything like that. And you're stopped. There's permission being asked by someone not you for you to continue looking through your own files that are you. You've got nothing.
You don't have admin access to your
You
site.
don't have admin access.
Strange.
What do you do?
Well, I guess I can get up, right? There's like nothing restraining me.
You go to get up and you can't.
Okay.
And then it slowly starts to dawn on you that you can't do anything with your body. Because you're not in it. You are staring at your human fleshy half on a makeshift slab in front of you,
Oh, shit.
and you are in some sort of computer staring at him. So this is a bit weird. You've had experience.
You could say that.
You feel like you should have experiences like this before. You're half computer. This shouldn't be... You know your way around computers. So, rather than checking your own stuff, you can explore this console that you're in.
Okay.
So, you've got a list of 3 files to check through. You can check for any sort of local Wi-Fi equivalent connection. And you can just turn off.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to turn off,
Mhm.
so I'm going to look for the Wi-Fi.
Okay. You check for any sort of Wi-Fi signals or anything like that. I'm saying Wi-Fi,
Yeah, I get.
but you check for any sort of
network.
to connect to. And there is a bunch of locked networks that are all a long series of
Hey
numbers.
guys, I need the Wi-Fi password.
There's a bunch of long series of numbers. Almost all of them are locked. There's a couple that aren't. The one that has the strongest connection seems to be with some of the other computers in the room. The name for it is some sort of jarbled mess. And you've got the strongest connection with that one.
This sounds like the start of a creepypasta.
I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is some creepypasta that probably starts like this.
Probably. I guess I'll connect because
Yeah.
what else do I have to do?
Okay, so you connect to that one, and you're connected now to the rest of the whatever mechanical setup is going on in this room. There's still the files to look at, and now you've got access to a couple more like cursory stuff. Like you can take a look at what was potentially being done to you if you really wanted to, or you could check the files that are on the computer that you're on, or you could turn yourself off again. They're all valid options.
That last one sounded really compelling.
So I guess it's up to you. Do you want to try and find out more, or do you want to get back into your body?
What the fuck happened? So,
Okay. So you go to check the files that list what's been going on. And the first thing that you notice is that there's a list of reports. Almost all of them are different people that are not you. And it's listing compatibility. It's listing how essentially just how much data they can handle. And how many connections they have outside of like computer connections. How many like personal connections the person has.
Yeah.
The very bottom one lists subject, male, human, unknown name. Most of the information is unknown about them. The little blurb about the person is completely not filled. And there is a success marked on it for a upload of some sort.
I'm going to guess that is my consciousness.
Probably.
Okay.
So the only thing left for you to really explore in this computer would be some of the files that were the 3 files that were on the main console. That
Okay. So is there like anything like generally like about the ship sort of stuff?
You are not connected to the ship. Whatever this little thing that's going on here is solely like self-contained.
Okay.
You can probably get the sense that whatever was going on here probably wasn't legal, or at the very least,
Yeah, I kind of
trying
got
to
that
be
vibe.
kept under wraps. When you look through the files, there's 2 EXEs that are blocked. But the third one, because you connected to the network, you can run. Again, all of the names for these are complete jumbled mess. They don't seem to really make any sort of logical sense as to like being a categorizing system or anything like that. It's almost like somebody just kind of slapped the keyboard to make a name for it.
Well, I guess I'll run it and hope I don't explode.
Okay, so you run it and you shut off for a minute.
Oh. Oh, gotta kill myself.
When you come back to, you are staring at the ceiling and you're back in your body.
Oh.
Whatever this executable was, it seems to have put you back, married the 2 halves of the consciousness that is you, and you're now, you feel like you are back to connecting to your fleshy bits.
Cool.
You've got motor functions again.
Nice.
You're still hooked up to a lot of this stuff, but you do with that what you will.
Okay.
The room that you're in is dark. Like whatever lights would be in here are off. The light that's shining on you is coming from the computer that you are in. Yeah, apart from that, you're stiff. Like, you feel like you've been here for a while.
Okay. Do I get, like, the sense that it would be difficult to take all the stuff off of me, or...?
Not really. A lot of it doesn't really seem too intrusive. Like there was no like dismantling of you per se.
Okay.
Although knowing as you continue to work at getting this stuff off of yourself, it's slowly coming back to you how this stuff is supposed to go in. This seems weirdly not like efficient, like at all. It seems like super like either poorly done or it was hastily done or somebody was just trying to make it complicated for the sake of it being complicated. But it takes you a little bit, but you get all of the stuff off of you. You're no longer connected to any of these computers. Although it is weird because you feel like you should have access to more of you than you do. So you feel like you're running like at really low efficiency.
I'm running in safe mode.
Yeah, you're kind of running in safe mode and on Wi-Fi, and like you're a little, I don't know. You feel like you should be better than you are, but
I feel
there's nothing you still can't access. You still don't have admin access to the rest of you.
You also
you do have control though over your human side.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You also just kind of like connected to the bootleg Wi-Fi
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
airports that people
Yeah.
get your credit card information off of.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope they didn't steal my social.
What is my social?
They stole
Who
your.
am I?
What is
They
a
stole.
social?
They stole your social.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, no, please.
Well,
All right, that was a podcast, everyone.
I assume there's some sort of door.
Yeah. There ends up looking at the dark corners of the room and stuff like that. Eventually, you do find a door. The room that you're in, after a little bit of investigation, does seem to be some sort of like closet of some sort. The door has been completely like rendered inoperable.
Oh.
The hand thing doesn't work, but when you touch the door, it just kind of freely slides into the wall and then hits something and slowly comes back. It's busted.
Okay,
Doesn't work no more. So it's very easy for you to get out of this.
Okay,
This
so
room.
I get out.
Yeah. You get out of the room and you are in some sort of like hangar area almost. Everything is metal. A very obvious metal, and there's some sort of catwalk that you're standing on. Connected to this catwalk is several different ports on the right-hand side that have panels next to them. The doors on them are completely closed. And there's a few like yellow warning lights that will flash every now and again, as if something is active in the room. And on the other side of the catwalk, there's another door to continue onward, if you would like to do that.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna go steal a ship later, losers.
Well, you don't know what they are.
Yeah.
There's control panels there that are to some sort of ports.
My character, I don't think they would do that anyway. They would want to know what's going on first before they try anything like
Okay,
that.
alright.
So, I'll just continue on.
Okay, so you continue on. Eventually, of moving your way through some sort of like industrial, similarly styled areas. I am trying to kind of move this along a bit faster because I'm spending a lot of time on this and I didn't want to spend this much time. But this is fun. Eventually, you reach yourself to a transition from this like machined mechanical area to a dining room. More cafeteria like than the one that Jesse went to. That was like a small mess hall. This is like a large cafeteria area at like a mall or something. And when you come out, you can kind of surmise that the place that you were just in is probably like, the employee only area or an employee on the area of wherever you're at.
Okay.
You can hear clearly over the radio that there's calming music being played, and there's a couple doors and like a kitchen area off to your left, tables, but then on your right hand side it opens up into a massive, huge hallway. I say hallway, but auditorium-like area. There is some sort of garden growing in the center of it. You are on the second floor of whatever this is. There seems to be another floor above you. And on the other side, you can see there's another floor above that one. There's... Think a mall. That kind of setting. A couple of the places are like shuttered down. One or two of them might still be open. And then you hear a clatter or a bang off to your right, down a little ways. There's something going on over there.
Okay. I will go to investigate that.
Okay, are you gonna run over to it, or are you gonna just kind of casually walk over
casually,
to it?
Okay.
Making
my way downtown.
All right. So you take your time. When you get over to where you think you heard where this was coming from, there's absolutely nothing.
Okay.
There's no goop. There's no robots. There's nothing.
Okay.
But there is a door nearby. You could spend more time in this giant auditorium area, or you could go through the door.
I'll just go through the door.
Okay. When you go through the door, you're in a small, like, cross-section area. You can go forward. It's open. You can go forward, and it goes down a hallway of some sort. And then to your right and left, there's a similar styled hallway. On those hallways, there's a bunch of screens that are all off. And the hallway that's in front of you, there's every now and again a couple doors on the left-hand and right-hand side. And it goes down for a ways and then slowly curves off to the right.
Okay. We'll just continue on forward then.
Okay.
I guess.
So you spend like 15 minutes going forward. If you ever decide to check any of the doors on the side, they read as access denied. And eventually you come across a small robot who's got a little plastic thing in his hand, and he's cleaning up some sort of purple sludge that's on the wall. And next to him is two empty bodies of this little thing. And he's working on the wall.
I will ask him what happened.
He stops and looks at you, and then looks back the way down the hallway and looks at you, and sets the little thing down and leans on it and starts to ape like he's talking to you, and just a horrible noise that comes out that you know what it is. It is a computer trying to audibly communicate to you. But it's wrong. It's all wrong. What it's saying isn't words. It's like hearing somebody just completely garbled up. Like, you know how if you just mash on a keyboard or whatever, those the random series of letters that comes up, it sounds like somebody speaking like that. Nothing's coherent, nothing's making any sense.
I'm getting the sense there's something wrong with all the technology here.
Yeah, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
After a while of it just gibbering at you.
Oh, I see.
It points down the hallway and throws its hands up and like wipes its little head and shrugs its shoulders and gets back to cleaning up this goop. There's still 2 dead whatevers, little robot man, on the ground, but it pointed off down the hallway a bit.
Okay, so my character will do the little data head tilt, and then go the way he pointed.
Okay, alright. So it takes you a while, but you hear some talking down the hallway, and when you look down there, there's an open door on the left-hand side. And that's where we'll stop with that.
Okay.
So, Tom, you wake up to a sound playing in your right ear. It's some song, and it's kind of loud, but it sounds like awful and garbled and like...
It's 32 kilobytes
Yeah.
per second.
And when you open your eyes, you're staring at space. And then you see a face right in front of yours.
And I saw a face.
Is it my reflection in glass?
It's your reflection in glass. And the first thing that goes through your mind is, who are you? And then you realize that it's your reflection. You're like, oh my god.
Who am I?
I got confused. Like, what am I, stupid? Wait a minute.
First question. Do I have anything over my face?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There's some sort of white strap or mask over your mouth.
Oh god, you got corona.
Yeah, there's glass right in front of you, and your reflection is being shown in it.
I'm gonna look around.
Okay, there's technology around you, very close to you. It doesn't take you very long to realize you're wearing a helmet.
Okay.
And when you look around, you are floating out in space.
Oh.
And you are in some sort of spacewalk suit. That does fit you. There's 4 arms.
Okay. Are the usual controls in place?
You assume that these are the usual controls. There are controls there for you to mess with. There's also some sort of like AR-ish type of HUD, and you can move your hands, but not the suit. You can move your hands in the suit.
The suit's locked.
The suit seems to be locked.
Okay.
So you figure that if you could move your hands, you could probably access the AR controls.
Okay.
And you're just staring at space in front of you.
All right.
You don't see a ship or anything.
So I'm gonna feel around in the suit for any kind of like other possible controls or anything like that.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really move or anything.
Okay.
I'll say, computer. Is there any response?
There's no response.
Oh, okay.
Give me a bit of a sleight of hand check here.
Okay.
I want to. We gotta see how dexterous you are feeling around in the inside of the suit.
14.
Okay.
14.
It takes you a little bit, but after a while, you kind of you can slide. There's enough slack in the suit that you can slide your arm out of the sleeve, one of your arms out of the sleeve, and get at some of the technology that's kind of like in front of you with your hands.
Do I recognize any of it?
No.
Okay.
You don't recognize anything. You don't know why you're here. You don't know who you are. You don't know what's going on. There's a couple of like emergency locks that have like covers on them. There's buttons that are unlabeled.
Is anything labeled?
No.
Okay.
You can surmise that you're probably supposed to know what a lot of this stuff does, but you don't. Or at least You can't remember if you did, but we'll say for the sake of your options, there's 3 buttons to push, and 2 covered little mechanical switches.
Okay. I will hold my breath and press one of the buttons.
Okay, you push one of the buttons, and nothing happens. It clicks, makes an audible, and nothing happens.
Okay.
I'm just imagining that scene from Toy Story 2 when you have the 2 Buzz Lightyears and the one opens the guy's spacesuit and he's like,
Yeah.
I will try the next button.
Okay, you hit the next button. Again, it makes an audible click. It's mechanical of some sort. But again, nothing happens. I'm going to assume you try the third button.
Yes.
Same story. Now you've just got the 2 mechanical switches.
The switches. First off, from what I can feel around, they don't seem like they're latches that are going to pop.
No. These are little mechanical switches that have like a safety cover, so you don't accidentally hit them.
Okay, I will try the left one or the top one or wherever. How they're
Okay, they're next to each other. So,
yeah.
All right, you hit the left one, and a yellow light starts flashing above your head.
Okay. I'll try the other one.
Okay, you hit the other one. The AR system shuts off.
Okay.
The light is still going. And one of the 3 buttons starts giving a little flash. Like a
okay.
dot 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 kind of flash to it.
Okay. I will press it.
Okay, you press the button and you hear a and you feel a pull and you're moving backwards.
Okay. I'll breathe a sigh of relief.
Okay. So you're being pulled back into whatever thing you're attached to. And when you come through, you're brought into some sort of compression type chamber. It closes. You have to sit there and wait, stuck in the position you were in for an uncomfortable amount of time.
I have a 9 in acrobatics.
And then gravity kicks in.
Okay.
And you not instantaneously fall down, but you slowly touch the ground as gravity slowly increases and you fall over.
Okay.
The suit is still locked up. But now that you're inside, the AR controls come back on. More systems seem to have been activated, and potentially also the voice system.
Okay. I'll say computer.
A little purple ball appears, and there's a little microphone next to it.
Open suit.
All right, so the suit waits a minute before it immediately starts to open, but the helmet part delatches and swings back. You're still on your back, and you get the feeling that you're probably not in the best position to be doing this, but this like locks and stuff on the suit start to open up. It takes you a bit to get it off. There seems to be a lot of like layers to it, but you are, when you finally get out of it, wearing a all white fitted suit that is in several places like plugged in to the suit itself. And the plugs come out. The plugs are attached to the suit itself. And you're still in this little hangar bay thing. There's a circular door behind you, and then there's the door that you just came through. there's a set of controls, and there's a large yellow handle on the actual door itself.
Mhm.
The suit is just heavy and on the ground. It was tethered at the back of the waist to the ship itself. You were outside for some reason.
Okay. Is it like light or dark in here? Are the lights on and stuff?
There's a few lights. It's not like well lit by any means, but it seems like there's obviously lights here for you to get at the controls and see where you're going. In your personal opinion, they could probably do with a few more lights, but you can see what's going on.
All right. So I'm going to walk over to the controls.
Okay.
What do I see there?
There's a lot of, again, unmarked buttons and switches and levers and the like.
There's no big red button labeled self-destruct.
There's no big red button labeled self-destruct. Now, there is a handle latch on the door itself.
And this is a door to the in, not out, right?
Yes. It looks like it's a door. It's the way you are being dragged. It's going in. Let me see if there's any. If you want, you could make either a computers or a mechanism check to try and surmise like some of the controls to open the door, or you could attempt just some sort of strength check to pull open the door with the handle.
I will first say, door.
Nothing happens.
Okay. In that case, I will try to pull the lever on the door.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Strength and athletics.
Strength.
6.
Ooh.
Doesn't budge.
Okay.
Doesn't move at all.
I will. Are there any like? I'm going to go over to the controls and try pressing some buttons. Should I do computers?
You could do either. You can make a check to try and figure out which button would be the most likely one, or you could just start hitting buttons without making a check.
Given that I have 0 in computer, I'm just gonna start hitting buttons.
Okay.
Not just buttons. I'm gonna hit a button and see what it does.
Okay. All right. A lot of the buttons don't really seem to like have any sort of immediate effects.
You open the airlock.
you
That's the thing I'm scared of.
Yeah, you don't open the airlock yet. After a while of trial and error, you eventually figure out a way to open up the door. And you open it up, and you're in a... you walk out onto a catwalk.
Okay.
And the catwalk, to your left, there's a door that is open. And to your right, there is another door. As well as on the same wall that you're on are 2 more doors like the one you've just come out of, and there are controls along the catwalk for the doors themselves.
Okay, so the door to my left is open?
Yeah, the door to your left is open.
Okay. I'm going to be very quiet, and I'm going to walk through that left door, peeking around each corner as I go.
Okay.
I'm going to move carefully as I go.
When you go to the left door, it is a dark room. There's not really a whole lot going on in there. But when you go into the room, it's dark and you can see kind of a light, but there's like kind of some stuff in there. It seems like some sort of storage room of some
Okay.
sort.
Do I have my stellar moat as a Solarian yet? Or is that something? Is it floating around me?
Do not.
Okay. I look for a light switch, and if I don't see one, I'm going to say lights.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, I'm going to clap.
When you look for a light switch, there doesn't really seem to be anything. There's some sort of control panel there, but when you touch it, it's completely unresponsive.
Okay.
When you say lights, nothing happens. When you clap, nothing happens.
Okay. I'm going to go into the room.
Into the room? Okay.
I can't see great in the dark.
There's a bunch. You can feel it because you're walking on it. There's a bunch of cords on the ground. There's a bunch of computers set up in the room. And there's a makeshift table in the center of it and a computer next to it.
Okay.
There's nothing else in the room.
All right. There seem to be any other ways out, or is it just the?
Well, it's a dark room. If you check the rest of the perimeter of the room, you don't find anything.
Okay.
You find cleaning supplies and like panels on the walls have been propped open.
Yeah. If nothing jumps out at me, I'm not going to do an in-depth search. If nothing jumps out at me, I'm not going to bother.
Okay.
I'm going to go back out.
All right.
And then I don't want to go back into. I don't want to go try any of the doors that were the same as the one I came out of. The other one I want to go through.
The other side of the catwalk.
The other
Okay.
side of the catwalk.
So you go over to the other side of the catwalk, and to save you the explanation, you open it up and you experience the same thing that Chris did.
Well, there is a difference. When I see these two bodies, I'm going to look at them.
Well, are you go out to the mess area? You don't do anything there?
I would carefully move through, trying to be quiet.
Okay, you're just trying to be quiet and stuff. Okay. When you make it out to the large mall-like space, you can see someone go off into like a room off to the right.
Okay, I'm gonna.
They're
Follow.
the only person you've seen so far.
I'm gonna follow quietly, attempting to tail them. Not.
Okay. Do you want to try and close the gap, or are you gonna?
I want to try to keep up. I want to try to get them in sight,
Okay.
but not.
Okay. All right. You do so, and you follow up till the point where you are walking down the hallway, and you barely see him, and he is just finishing up some sort of conversation, and is moving down the hallway.
Okay. And I see the little robot, right?
Yep, little robot. He's cleaning up some goop.
I will look at the two damaged robots and carefully move them and set them to the side and like fold their arms in front of them. And I don't have anything to like do anything with, but I'll like
the robot that's cleaning up there. When he sees you or looks at you, like it's like, oh my gosh, another one. And he this time he's trying to ignore you, and is trying to get his job done, clean up the thing. When you start messing with the robots, he starts waving his hand to get you to stop.
Okay, I stop.
Okay. He makes a couple noises like beeps and bops and stuff. Nothing.
I'll nod politely.
And yeah, then he just goes back to cleaning up.
Okay.
Do you sit there and wait and watch him clean up, or?
No. As soon as he finishes talking to me, I'm going to move on.
Okay. Very similarly, you go down, and we're going to stop there.
I loved episode 1.